Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. This is Stephanie O'Connell. This is Stephanie. This is Stephanie O'Connell. This is Stephanie O'Connell. And this is Stephanie O'Connell, founder of Positive Change Acceleration. Well, hello, my friends. This is Stephanie O'Connell, your Positive Change Accelerator. And today I want to talk about the power in making shifts in our perspective and how that can really bring about a fast change in a situation. Let me describe a story that I remember reading years ago in one of Stephen Covey's books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he describes a story where he was riding on a subway train in New York. A father comes on with 3 kids. It seems like they're a family unit, so making an assumption that it's the dad. Dad sits down, is kind of looking down at his hands. Kids start playing around. They start making noise. They start twirling around the post, making kind of all kinds of disruption in the subway car. And Stephen Covey looks over and finds the father is doing nothing about it, not even paying attention. And he finds his own frustration and agitation grow. Like, how can this be happening? Why isn't this person addressing this behavior, which is clearly inappropriate for a subway train? And at some point, I guess, he decided to speak up, and he went, "Excuse me, sir, your children are being disruptive here on the train." And he waited a moment, and the dad looked up and looked just drawn in the face and said, like he was aware of these children for the first time on the train, and went, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right. He just came from the hospital and their mom passed away, and I guess they don't know how to handle it, and I guess neither do I." And then in that moment, Stephen Covey describes like that. The agitation was gone. The frustration was gone, and immediately was filled with empathy and support for this person, these children that a minute ago he was extremely aggravated by. So that is an example on how your perspective can shift very, very quickly, and how powerfully it can change not only our thoughts, but our emotions in a situation. So why is this helpful? How can this be helpful? Well, imagine you are in a situation at work and you feel like you're in a pattern where it's unproductive, the same thing happens, nothing is changing, nothing is shifting, we don't make any progress, etc. And maybe you're feeling a bit stuck. Well, what if you took a few steps back and said, well, what am I missing? Is there this isn't making sense to me, why this is happening this way? What could I be missing? Or what information do maybe I need or don't have? Or what perspective could I shift to take a look at this in a new and different way so that I can potentially problem solve differently? So that is a way to start asking yourself, what am I missing? What else could be going on here? Is there a perspective that I need to try on? And maybe it is like trying on a set of glasses to say, well, let me see this from a different perspective. Another way to do it is to imagine like that you're on a dance floor and the dance is playing out. The family dance is playing out, whatever that pattern is. And you're on the dance floor, and then you decide to go up to the balcony, and now you see the dance floor in a completely different light. And I find I like to do this with my teenagers, because sometimes they come home and the family dance starts and they're in a state that I can't quite interpret. Like, I just don't know what's going on with them. And it's kind of, I'm getting short answers and we're not communicating very well. And so if I can zoom out and go, well, wait a minute, what did they have today? Did they have an exam? What did they tell me? Because if I can zoom out away from that exact moment and say, wait a minute, what else might have been going on that could contribute, to what I'm experiencing right now. It's super helpful. It's super helpful. And I recommend you try it. And if you're having difficulty shifting your perspective, get help. Ask someone else's perspective, especially someone who thinks differently than yourself. We tend to ask the people that think like we do, and then we might just get agreement or the same answer that we're coming to ourselves. This is when I highly encourage you to seek out diverse perspectives, to say, how are you seeing this? How are you experiencing this? To broaden the lens in which you're looking at the world. And I'll end with what really made this relevant for me was I recently was gifted this kaleidoscope, and I forgot how much I love kaleidoscopes. And so if you haven't had a kaleidoscope or played with one, basically inside is a tube and there's colors in the tube. This one happens to have red, yellow, and blue. And there's a tube inside that moves. And so when you first look in, the colors are making this one's like a star shaped, but when you just adjust it or shift it slightly, a different visual is made by the same colors. And so I used to have so much fun just shifting this and seeing how these 3 colors could make so many different configurations within this tube. And so when you are stuck and when you feel like I just can't see a way out of this problem, I just don't see how anything is going to change, think about the brief turn or twist or shift that you would make with a kaleidoscope and see how that potentially is enough of a shift. Oops, dropped my kaleidoscope. Enough of a shift where you can go, I do see something a little different here, something that I can work with, and try it. I am always so amazed and impressed when I shift my perspective, what insights come to me. And I am always glad when I seek out a very different perspective than my own. It really stretches my thinking and helps me see new possibilities. So that is a way, one of the many ways to shift pretty quickly or make positive changes in your life, is to try the power of perspective shifting. And with that, I'm going to say bye for now.